Well, good morning, everybody. We are here for Eggs and Issues. My name is Berkenda. I'm our Vice Chair of Events here at the Orange Chamber. I am so excited to welcome you guys to the June installment of Eggs and Issues. I know I say this every single month. I do see some new faces, though, so it'll be fresh news for people. I cannot believe it's June! Every month I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's April, May, June, now we're at summertime. So we just passed Make Music Day, which is always on the first day of summer, so it's like literally summer here. As you can probably see from the sun shining down on us, it is going to be a glorious day here in Orange, and I'm so happy that we can start it here with our guest speaker and here at one of my favorite restaurants, Haven Craft Kitchen and Bar. So today's segment is an open format and questions are encouraged. If you have a question for our guest speaker, please feel free to signal me. We're really here to talk to Jeff. It's not about me asking questions, it's about you all asking questions. He's here for you, so just signal me. For those of you on Facebook, oftentimes we do have a moderator here on Facebook. Unfortunately today we do not have that, so I will not be able to get to any questions, but feel free to type them. I'm sure we can get Jeff to answer for us later today or after today's segment. Absolutely. For you. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce this morning's guest speaker, Jeff Bott. And so before we begin, Jeff, I always like to read everyone's bio just so that people know kind of a little bit about you, if that's okay?
Fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So Jeff Bott is a community engagement manager for the Transportation Corridor Agencies, the public agency that designed, financed, built, and operates Orange County's 51-mile toll road network, State Routes 73, 133, 241, and 261, or as we know them, the toll roads of Orange County. Right. And at 420 lane miles, they make up the largest network of public toll roads in California. Jeff is responsible for communicating to the public about the agency's projects and initiatives. Jeff graduated from Cal State Fullerton with a degree in communications. He is one of those rare and unique stories of someone who started out in the mailroom and worked his way to the position he has now.
That's right.
Back when he joined TCA in the mid-90s, the toll roads were just being built, so he was fortunate to see them under construction and open to the public. After he graduated, he was promoted to the Communications and Public Affairs Department. A lot went into how the toll roads came about, and Jeff will tell us how it all happened. And the cool part is, he was there when it all took place. Well, Jeff, again, I am so happy you could be here with us today. I know that you have quite the busy schedule, keeping those roads open and all the things you have to do with our community, so thank you again. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. And listening to that bio actually really makes me realize how old I am. If I've actually seen the toll roads get built and now they're open, so.
We won't tell anybody.
No, we won't.
Nobody do the math, please, nobody do the math.
It took a long time ago. But
yeah. Well, just to get started, I guess tell us, and I kind of know the story, so for those of you who don't know, Samuel Johnson was able to visit with us back in November 2020.
Is that when that was? Wow.
Yeah, it seems like it was such a long time ago. Like eons away as far as things were and where we were in the world, but so he was with us in November 2020.
Okay.
And so we do kind of know some of these questions, but I know that we have a new audience and things do change, but if you can give us a little color on how did the toll roads come about?
It's a great story, and it's not really a story about toll roads or infrastructure. It's actually more of a story about Orange County. Okay. Orange County history, elected officials coming together and working together to find a plan B for transportation. So in the late 70s, early 80s, population was just going crazy in Orange County. People really wanted to live here. We were about 2 million people in 1981. And the county saw a need for additional routes, freeways, to accommodate this massive growth. So they added what would later become Route 73, 133, 241, 261 to the county's long-range plans to be built as freeways to accommodate this growth. California did not have the funds or the will to build new freeways, so our elected officials just got together and said we've got to do something. Doing nothing is unacceptable. We can't have freeways, state doesn't have any funds. They kind of looked at tolling as maybe an experiment. Would people be willing to pay a toll to drive on a freeway? They weren't even really sure.
Absolutely.
But what's great to me is they recognized that there was a need. Traditional resources weren't available. They all came together, said let's try toll roads. Got authority from the state to create our agency, issue debt, and build the roads as toll roads. So it's more of a story of Orange County and elected officials working together to find a plan B when plan A doesn't work out.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Now something that came up is, so we have what's called a freeway. And we all think that's free. Well, we don't, myself does not anymore. I've spoken with Samuel, so I know that the freeway is not free. So I know he told us it's tolled and untolled roads. For the most part is how people should think of it. Yeah. Tell us about how that works. Like, so what's, I guess, the difference for most people? I know obviously you pay a toll on the toll roads, but how does that work as far as the freeways really not being free, and how does that interconnectivity work?
There are no free roads. I mean, everybody,
Right.
you know, we fund them through our taxes and measures and all that stuff. Freeway used to mean, well, still does, free-flowing traffic.
Okay.
Not necessarily no toll, but it was to guarantee free-flowing traffic. And so we pay a toll, like I said, because the traditional funds weren't available and we got to pay for them. The great thing about our toll roads in Orange County, you know, a lot of toll roads are back east, Chicago, New York, New Jersey, they're all over Europe, Puerto Rico. We're very lucky here in Orange County that all of our toll roads parallel the freeways,
Right.
giving drivers a choice. You can take them, you don't have to take them. Even if you don't take them, you benefit from the 350,000 trips a day who do take the toll roads because they're off the freeways and local roads. And
Right.
I mean, even I love to make that choice. I mean, I'm coming up the 5. I see brake lights at around Avery Parkway, and I'm like, you know, no, I'm not going to sit in that today. I'm going to pay the few bucks and take the 73 and get off at the 133. I like that we have that choice.
Exactly.
It's it's more of a user fee.
Now, as
base.
far as, and I love it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as when they were being built, because definitely California and Orange County in particular needed some way to relieve traffic and keep the mobility going. But why, do you happen to know why they were built as toll roads and not as freeways? Because we could have, I guess, perhaps had adjacent freeways.
Yeah, they were supposed to be freeways. As I
Oh.
said, the county planned them in 1981 to be built as freeways. Didn't have the money. Federal gas tax reserves had dried up because people were switching to more economical cars, so they weren't getting the federal gas reserves. And California just wasn't building freeways anymore and didn't have the funding to do it anyway. So tolling was a way to simply pay for the needed infrastructure that we needed. As I mentioned, we were 2 million people in 1981 with another million forecast over the next 20 years. And now I believe we're at 3.3 million people in Orange County.
Wow.
So just imagine 3.3 million people in Orange County with only the 55, the 5, the 405, no 73, no 241. Imagine what our local and city streets would look like,
Right.
because that's what everybody hits when the freeways are packed. They hit the local. Let's try the local roads. So it's really been a great economic boom and quality of life, air quality. And what a lot of people don't realize is that when we opened the toll roads, 73 and the 241, we don't keep them. We actually turn them over to Caltrans. The day that a lot of people think they go to Caltrans when they're paid off, but we actually deed them to the state, turn them over to the state the day they open to traffic.
Okay.
So Orange County, under this model, has really provided the state of California with about $12 billion worth of new transportation infrastructure that never could have otherwise been built.
Wow. Okay,
So,
that's very interesting. Now, I think I saw that your pre-COVID numbers as far as trips per day was that around, was it 330,000?
Ooh, you remember your interview with Samuel? Yeah, 350,000 trips a
I
day.
might have studied. But so what are we looking at now? Well, here's a couple things. So I know that's what it was pre-COVID, and so we talked to Samuel. That was November 2020, so
Yep.
we're kind of like right in the thick of it. And I know definitely it slowed down. I think he said about 75%. I know that you had spoken to another chamber, and it had started to increase,
Yeah.
and that was like early in that next year, so early last year. What are we looking at now as far as usage?
Well, if you think about what I mentioned earlier, we get about 350,000 trips a day. And what was really cool about them is they all parallel the freeway. So, which are typically the most congested in the entire nation. If you look
Right.
at the 91, 55, 405, it's an easy choice to make, right? Well, COVID hits. Like I said, all of our toll roads parallel the freeways. We're being asked to stay at home. All of the freeways are empty. Who's going to pay a toll to go on the toll roads?
Right.
We did. We lost 75% of our traffic, which was kind of scary because that doesn't mean the debt payments go away. We're still having to make about $100 million on each road in debt payments every year. So fortunately, our board just jumped right into action and passed a very conservative budget. Saved, I think, about $77 million off of our fiscal year 21 budget.
Okay.
So we sure made all of our bond payments. No one lost their jobs. And we lost 75% of our traffic. It started to come back in April 2020, started to go up again. I think we closed down. I think society shut down again sometime after that, so we lost traffic again.
Right.
Then it came back, and fortunately today all of our pre-COVID traffic is back. So we're right back to 350,000
nice.
trips a day. Yeah,
Very
we're
nice.
back like gangbusters.
How many accounts does the TCA actually have, if you don't mind, if you're allowed to tell?
There are about 2.1, 2.2 million TCA fast track accounts.
Okay.
That's pretty big. So.
And then, do you happen to know how many people in the city of Orange have?
Yeah, Orange has about 26,000
Okay.
toll road fast track accounts. Yeah.
I think that's substantial.
No, it's great. Yeah.
And so I guess we're at the end of a fiscal year, because I believe you guys have a year ending in, is it June 30th?
Yeah, our new fiscal year begins July 1st.
Perfect. So how would you say, I know at the time, and you just mentioned that your board had stepped in and did a lot of things to make sure that financially you guys were able to sustain throughout the pandemic and that slowdown. How are you guys looking now?
Really good. Another good thing about our agency, as I said, the state is supposed to build the freeway, so they couldn't. So local government stepped in and said, we'll take care of it, we'll do a plan B. We'll give the roads to Caltrans, but thankfully, they decided to keep the control local instead of giving that away to the state. So even though the states are owned and maintained, the toll roads are owned and maintained by Caltrans, we kept that control local. So all of the local elected officials that are in cities adjacent to the toll roads have a seat at the table, a voice on the board. Orange has council member Mark Murphy, who's been on the toll road board for over a decade. And so they make the policy and they set the budget and the priorities. So they passed a budget about $278 million for both the 241 and the 73 toll roads, and they also passed a 7-year strategic plan, which is pretty cool also.
Okay.
Some of those goals including actually paying cash for a transportation infrastructure project instead of issuing new debt.
Oh wow.
That's huge.
That is huge.
I mean, when we're at the point where we can fund things with our own reserves and not have to issue new debt, that's amazing for Orange County and the toll road agency. We opened the Oso Parkway Bridge in January of 21. That's a $40 million project that was paid for in cash. And now we're working on the 241-91 Express Connector, which is going to start construction late next year.
So that was what, about a 5-year project?
That's going to open in 2026, I believe.
Okay.
And that's about a $375 million project, also paid with cash.
Perfect.
And also, this is historical for our agency. The 241 board is actually scheduled to make an extra bond payment this year of $125 million to bring down some of that debt. So yeah, it's a good time for our agency right now.
Okay, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Now you mentioned the toll roads being turned over to Caltrans. So does that mean that eventually they would be free, like in 2048?
That's a great question. That's probably the number one question I get when I'm out in the public is when will the toll roads be free? You know, we built them, financed them with bonds. You know, we sell the bonds on the open market, and they're paid back by tolls. People pay the tolls, and we pay off the bonds, the development impact fees. All the developers in the area chip in for that. But as I mentioned earlier, when we opened the traffic, we deed them to the state of California. We literally turned them over, and they're part of the state highway system. So it's actually a decision Caltrans will make when the toll roads are paid off. Will they remain free, or will they keep them tolled? Hopefully they go free,
right?
Or at least some lanes on them will go free. We don't know. They could see that as a funding mechanism for other transportation projects or other things. But it's right around the year 2050.
Okay.
When that happens, I'll be too old to care. But my kids will probably would enjoy some free toll lanes. But that's a decision that Caltrans would make at the time.
Yeah, and I would say probably with the way things are going with, you know, electric vehicles and gas tax and all of that, who knows what's going to happen at that point? Because there will be so many changes by then.
We're actually preparing for that too, and I'll talk about that later.
Okay. Well, what projects have you guys been working on lately? I know that you guys were working on some channelizers. Tell us about that. So
the channelizers are the long tubular traffic cones that you see on the 91 express lanes to keep people from getting in and out of the the traffic lanes. So for years, as the 241 merges onto the 91 freeway, we kind of had this problem of cars not wanting to wait because it backs up pretty bad in the afternoons about 2 o'clock because the 91 freeway is so congested. I mean, in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, it's congested westbound. About 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's very congested eastbound. And that creates a backup on the 241 of everybody wanting to get on the 91 east. Sometimes it's an hour backup. So we were having cars go down the 91 westbound lanes, getting as close as they could to the 91 eastbound connector and try to cut in line. Queue jumpers, we call them. And it, not only is it rude, but it's a safety hazard as well.
Definitely.
And then the people don't want that person to get in there, so they all cinch up and try to block that person. And if you think of a car barreling down the 91, the 241 trying to get on the 91, and it's starting to back up because they're trying to queue jump.
Right.
So we installed those channelizers to stop that, and that's really helped that problem.
Very
it's
nice.
about a mile up the road, and that's just put in place to help that until, like I said, we start on the 241-91 connector, which will start next year.
Very nice. Yeah, the channelizers are interesting.
I have people tell me all the time,
They scare
I'm so
me.
glad.
They do scare me a little bit.
I have two types of people that tell me, I'm so glad you put those up. That really scared me. People are so rude. And then I have people tell me, I was a queue jumper. You took that away from me.
I would never be a queue jumper. I'm just always afraid to stay in between those. It's such a tight little
I'd be worried about the
margin.
people cinching up, not trying
Yes.
to let me in, and then I'd get in panic mode if I couldn't get in. So
Exactly.
I wouldn't do it, so.
And I know we kind of skipped ahead a little bit, so I was going to talk about the account. So we talked about how many accounts you guys have. Just for everybody who's here, I would love to know, does everybody here have either a toll tag, a sticker, or your license plate registered? I won't judge you if you don't. Okay, we've got everybody.
Pretty much everybody. Yeah.
Everybody, which is great. I know I had told Samuel, I was like, I love having my license plate registered because I was, that person who had quarters or no quarters, and then forget, and you're just like, months go by, and then it shows up on your DMV bill. So yeah, registration of your license plate is the way to go, is what I think.
Yeah, we're one of the few toll agencies that allow multiple ways to pay. A lot of toll roads, toll lanes.
I love that.
Especially in California, it's fast track only.
Mm-hmm.
We're one of the few agencies you can have fast track. You can use your license plate to pay for a toll. We can bill you for your toll. You can go to places like 7-Eleven or Walmart, Family Dollar.
How do you pay like a 7-Eleven? You just give them your license?
There's a program called Pay Near Me.
Okay.
And that set that up. So there's multiple ways to pay, which is pretty cool. So
that's awesome. I'm glad you
we
guys
took
made that easy.
we took the toll booths down. I think around 2014 because we did all electronic tolling, which is pretty much the trend nationwide. I think even the Golden Gate Bridge is all electronic tolling now. Most toll roads and lanes all over the country. Or you pay with either an electronic device like a fast track or your license plate.
Right. Now, as far as the transponder, having any of those things registered, whether it's the sticker, the transponder, or your license plate, can you drive anywhere within California or just over here?
So fast track is good on any tolled lane, bridge, or road in the entire state of California.
That's
so you can
amazing.
use that fast track whether you're in Golden Gate Bridge, Oakland Bay, even the express lanes in LA, the 10 and the 110, our roads, 91 express lanes. There's toll lanes and roads in San Diego, the I-15 north and south, and then there's the 125 toll road in, I think, Otay Mesa, Chula Vista area, so anywhere in California. We actually developed the fast track technology in partnership with Lockheed Martin in the early 90s, and we share that through an interoperability agreements with all the other toll agencies in California. And since I am so old and was there when it all started, the first fast track device was a little black box that sat on your dashboard, and you inserted a little key card into it to pay the toll. And now we're at these tiny little stickers that only cost about 50 cents to make. So we've really come a long way.
That's the little light sticker.
Yeah, we've really come a long way from that funky, cluttery. I can't even remember. When would you stick that in? While you're driving, or would you put that in before? I don't remember.
Kind of like the quarters.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then we went to the square device, and then a smaller device, and now we have the stickers. So
that's nice. I enjoy all of it. Well, fuel has gone up immensely. Has that caused have the toll roads also increased their prices? And how has that impacted the toll roads, I guess? Or maybe it hasn't.
So far, it has not affected our traffic numbers. We're still getting the 350,000 trips a day. Mm-hmm. I have had people tell me that there's no difference of taking a toll or not because you're wasting so much gas sitting in traffic. It's actually, I've had people tell me it's more economic to take the toll road and pay the toll because they're not sitting in the 91 or the 405. But so far, everyone still keeps taking the toll roads. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I feel like I've been taking a lot of your time, so I want to make sure and open it up to the floor.
This is great.
Does anyone have any questions? Pat.
Well, why don't you talk about what do you do when maybe your car has an accident?
An accident?
Yes. And you're driving a rental and you're on the toll roads. Do you want to explain?
I'll do the rental one first. The rental car is really cool. So a lot of rental car agencies now ask you if you want to opt into their fast track when you rent the car, which is totally fine. But if they don't or if they forget, really all you have to do is go onto your toll road account, enter the make, model, and license plate of that rental car, and put in a start date and an end date, very important.
Okay.
of that rental car, and the tolls go on your Fast Track account automatically. You can actually also do that, by the way, for family and friends. I do this to my parents when they come.
Oh, do you just add them to your
Yeah, they come,
account?
and I say, don't worry about it, Dad. You don't have a Fast Track. I'm going to add your car, so I get his license plate and its make and model, and they take the. He goes, are you sure this is going to be okay? I'm not going to get anything in the mail. I'm like, no, I work there.
With the bill.
You're fine. So that's great when relatives come, that you can simply
That's
add
awesome.
them.
I never thought about that. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, mom or dad's coming or grandma's coming. I'm just going to add your car for 5 days. You just take the toll roads all you want. It's on me.
Lovely. Just don't forget to take them off.
Yes.
And you had a second question.
Oh, the other one.
Have an
What happens if there's an accident?
No.
Oh.
Mine was just saying that the car that's registered is in an accident, so therefore is in the shop.
Yeah.
And then you go out and you rent a car. And,
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and so I just thought, because I just went through that.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a good question for everybody to
No,
hear.
that's good. And along those lines, I'll also say, because of the sticker transponder, when you peel it back and take it off, it breaks it. So we'll send you a new one. So remember, if you turn a car in or sell a car, make sure you take that transponder off. A lot of people have broken windshields or chips in the windshield, and they replace that.
Okay.
Peel that sticker off so it's not sitting there, and then we'll send you a new one free of charge. So.
Perfect. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because they're not. It used to be different with the other Fast Track, the hard case. You could switch it from car to car,
Right.
and you'd listen for the beep.
Or just take your friends out of their
Yeah, but
car
with the new one, that little radio transmitter, as soon as it's peeled away, it breaks it. So, which is a good thing.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the transponders were just so giant. I know it was kind of jokingly, but I used to take my friends out of their car and like, let me just take that for let's
People do
take it.
tell me they miss the beep, though.
Oh,
Yes.
the beep
People would
was
literally
kind
go
of
through the toll,
fun.
turn their music down, listen for that beep, and there was such assurance. Oh, it's paid.
I do actually. Now that you're saying, I do miss the beep.
And when the sticker came,
it.
people would tell me it's not working, it's not beeping anymore. I'm like, that's supposed to.
The sticker is 50 cents. Like, it's not that fancy.
Yes,
Like,
that's actually a good thing, because we used to have a monthly maintenance fee of $2 because the hard case transponders weren't cheap, and you had to drive,
Right.
I think, $25 a month to get that waived. But the sticker technology is so cheap, we just waived that monthly fee for everyone. So you can get as many stickers as you want. You have 3 cars, we'll get you 3
Nice.
stickers.
Very
Super
cool.
easy.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So you oversee all the community outreach activities for the agency. What are some things that you hear out and about in the community about like the toll roads and how they interact with the city and the community? Anything in particular?
I'm lucky that I think I have the funnest job at the agency, because I'm
Probably
not
do.
in the office, I'm actually out in the community. It's really fun to talk to people, hear what they say, and I get some great stories from people about the toll road, like the ice sculptures were melting during my son's wedding thanks to the toll road. There was an incident on the 405, the whole wedding party took the toll road, we got there on time. People tell me, thank you for saving my sanity, thank you for getting me home to my family on time. It's really good. And they, I do hear a lot, when will the toll roads be paid off, stuff like that. And it's also good to tell the story, because I don't know why, but for some reason a lot of people seem to think the toll roads are private.
Okay.
And that there is shareholders, board of directors, and they always seem to be surprised when I tell them they're actually public toll roads.
Okay.
They were meant to be freeways, and your elected official in your city represents you on that toll road board.
Right.
It isn't a shareholder, and there is no profit. We just take the tolls or the tolls and pay off the bonds. So it's good to educate people too about the story and
About that.
let them know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, the Chamber, we are really about business and helping the business community. Is there any, message that the toll roads have for our business community in particular?
Yeah, I actually hear a lot from business owners, especially ones that are mobile. A guy that has a mobile computer company tells me he wouldn't even have a company without the toll roads, because he goes, I couldn't service that many computers in the area to make it worth my while. He said, I cover LA, San Diego, and then Empire, Orange County, and I can just get anywhere with the toll roads. And he said, I really can't see myself where I'd make a profit if I had to rely on the freeways. Another example is a gentleman who has a promotional items company.
Okay.
He said the same thing, that he can get to more clients and stuff like that. So I think that's the message for Chamber members is you can reach more people when because it's really a congestion-free experience. Yeah, and you can pinpoint to when you're going to get to your destination. Even a lot of the companies like UPS, FedEx, Albertson, Stater Brothers, they all are willing to pay the toll, and they have to pay more toll because it's charged by axle.
Oh, wow.
But
okay.
they know when they can make their deliveries, so
Any
they
discounts?
take the toll.
Nobody gets this. Anyway.
There is a discount. It's a frequent driver discount.
Oh, what's that about?
It's very easy to get. You don't even have to sign up for it. It's automatic. If you have a fast track
Okay.
and you spend $40 a month in tolls, then the next month every single toll is discounted by $1.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
even the short hops, like if you took 73 and got off at El Toro Road, instead of $3.20, you'd pay $2.20. So every toll is discounted $1.
Well, that's good to know.
Just
Thank
need
you
to
for
hit
sharing
that 40 mark, and there's a little green gauge on the website that shows how close you're getting to that 40.
Very nice.
So that's a great program we have.
Okay. Any other questions for Jeff? Anyone else have any?
I have one.
Hi.
Hi. How and who determines the cost of a toll road according to like time of day?
So every year we do traffic and revenue studies to show what the best rate is for that time of day. Our board, which is made up of elected officials from all the cities along the toll road routes, including supervisors from the 3rd, 4th, and 5th districts, they all set the toll. What we've been doing historically for many, many years now, rather than large toll increases every so often, our board have pretty much taken the action to just raise them every year about 2%. So it's very minimal. It goes up really just pennies. I think one goes into effect July 1st. So then you don't have these massive toll increases or surprises for the drivers every 5 or 6 years. It's just at 2% because...
That's not bad, and it's once a year.
Yeah, and like I said, our goal is to pay off these roads and pay down the bonds and invest in the system.
Okay.
And one of the cool things about the toll roads, if you've been on them, you'll see very wide medians. You've been on the 73, the 241. Well, they were smart enough to have the foresight way back when to build them from the outside in rather than the inside out traditionally.
Okay.
So there's all that room in the median for future lane
Very
improvements. You could do bus rapid transit. Maybe we'll have connectable cars, automated cars one day. They could go in there.
Oh, that's great.
Mass transit could be there in the median. So I always tell people, I kind of wish that we hadn't branded ourselves as the toll roads back in the late 80s, early 90s, because if you look at the name of the agency, the Transportation Corridor Agencies,
right.
they really were designed as multimodal corridors.
Right, as opposed to a toll road.
Totally just, you could really, there's so much you could do with them in the future, and that's part of what our board's going to look at over the next 7 years in our strategic plan is what are some of the technological things we can look at to stay current and on the toll roads. I mean, we're looking at portions of the road that will actually charge your electric car while you're driving without even having to stop through the pavement and the tires.
Yes.
We're looking at where the toll road sign tells the computer screen on your car how much the toll is going to be. Oh, you want to take the 73? It's going to be $6.65, and it appears on the screen. So we're looking at some pretty cool things coming over the next decade or so.
Yeah, and that's really not too far away.
No.
I mean,
Yes, you're right.
Jetsons.
And time goes so fast.
Well, I have one fun question for you, and we won't tell everybody here and everybody on Facebook who watches. We're not going to tell any of the other cities what Jeff answers to this question.
Oh.
What is your favorite? Just kidding. I'm not going to ask what your favorite city in the county is.
Oh, no. That would not be wise.
No, I won't ask. We know it's orange. It's fine. You don't have
Absolutely.
to just blink. Okay. What is your favorite memory in Orange? It could be any. I know you spend a lot of time in all the cities, but I'm sure you do. I know you spend time in Orange because I see you at you're always at our networking lunches. Mm-hmm. I see you out and about. So do you have a favorite memory here or a favorite location or something that's fun that you love here in Orange?
Yeah, that's easy. It was announcing the Orange May Parade, May 7th.
Very cool.
Yeah, Elizabeth asked me to do that, I think, early in the year. And
we so appreciate that.
And they made it really fun. They brought that parade back after so many years, and they had us up in a building overlooking everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because my parents came all the way from St. George, Utah to watch me announce that parade.
That is amazing.
But I was on the second floor of that building, and they were over by City Hall, and my mom was like, we didn't even see you or hear you once. But my dad had a good conversation with Mark Murphy, so that made it worth its while to come. So.
Well, we so appreciate you for doing that with us.
Oh, that was really fun.
Event.
I hope to do it again next year. That was
attended.
super fun. So, really enjoyed that.
One last question before we kind of head into a landing is, how can we continue to help the toll roads? What can the chamber do for you?
I would just say keep driving the toll roads and support our infrastructure projects as we come up. And also, one thing that really helps is when you're talking to your friends and neighbors and they have questions like they say, oh, I think the toll roads are private, and you say, no, they're actually public toll roads. Your elected official serves, that really helps, because there is misinformation out there about
For sure.
the projects we're working on, the toll agency itself, and it really helps when people clear up that information. That really helps when we can rely on you. And sometimes when we build projects, we need letters to elected officials or speakers at public hearings or our board meetings, and we would ask the chamber, because we can't really advocate for that stuff. We rely on the business community to advocate for that.
Yeah, we're here for all of that.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, I do have a couple of announcements before I officially let you go, and I know people want to talk to you before the time is officially up here in Haven, so I'm just going to do a couple quick announcements. Thank you so much for joining us,
It was
first
very
of all.
fun. Glad to be here.
I so appreciate it. So we have our business networking group that is on the first and third Wednesdays. The first Wednesday is now a breakfast. For those of you who have not had a chance to look at that, it is at Rockwell's in Villa Park. So delicious. Head on over there. It's at, I get this confused, Elizabeth, 7 or 8 a.m.?
8 o'clock.
8 a.m. at Rockwell's on the first Wednesday. The third Wednesday is going to be at Zito's. Delicious pasta, pizza, breadsticks, salad over at the Zito's on Tustin Avenue. It's a great location. It's ginormous. So join us there for lunches on the third Wednesday. It starts at noon. I say get there at about 11:45 because you want time to pile your plate with delicious food and kind of get started, and also network. We have a mixer coming up, Skin Station Spa. That's going to be on July 13th at 5:30. Love for you to join us there. And thank you guys all, everybody who's watching, everybody who's here, for attending our mixers and for attending our ribbon cuttings. It means so much to the business community for sure. I would be remiss if I did not mention the 3rd of July. Please join us on the 3rd of July for our annual festivities that we have here in Orange. They are going to be so fun. So we expect to see all of you there for sure. And then Eggs and Issues. If you guys didn't notice and you didn't hear the announcement at the beginning, for those of you here, you know that you're in a new location. For those of you who are not here, you can see from behind me that we're in a new location. We are at Haven Craft Kitchen and Bar, and so this is going to be our home for June, July, and August, and so thank you so much, Haven and Chris, who's here today. We'll be here July 27th. We'll be speaking with our new city manager, Rob Houston. We cannot wait to see you, Rob, so we're looking forward to seeing you in July. And again, special thanks to Haven this morning for the delicious breakfast and for hosting. And of course, as always, thank you to all of our Chairman Circle sponsors. We could not do this without you. You are like the lifeblood of the chamber. And of course, our members, our board, our staff, and our community leaders, and you all here who are here with us today. And with that, we are landing and we're done. Thank you so much. Please stay and chat with Jeff for a hot minute, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn off Facebook Live, but stay and chat.
Thank you, Berkenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.